Before we get into this, I just want to say, Jason Mack, you are a phenomenal writer, phenomenal actor. I am thoroughly, thoroughly impressed. We will go into detail in this review. First things first, I want to say a huge thank you to Lori Heiselman and the Biscuit Media Group for allowing me to have this great, great opportunity to see this movie a little earlier than most people. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to hopefully doing more in the future because this was a phenomenal movie. So, A Father's Legacy, directed and written by Jason Mack, starring Tobin Bell as Billy Ford, Jason Mack as Nick Wolf, and Rebecca Robles as Jean Wolfe, his wife. So the basic synopsis of this movie is this young man is out, kind of just, he's not out of his mind. He's out of sorts, emotionally and mentally. There's a lot going on. He doesn't really have a job right now. His wife's pregnant. He hasn't known his father. And he's just all over the place, He's just misunderstood. He's looking to find a way out of the situation he's in. And he's actually a good young man, It's just, he's confused. Makes a mistake and stumbles upon this house where Tobin Bell, or Billy, lives. I'm not going to run through the entire story with you, but I do want to get enough of the essence of this film on this review so that you all can know how amazing this is. And I know if you've seen my videos before, I'm pretty good with saying how much I love movies or if I don't really like them. And for the most part, I do like movies because I'm a movie watcher. But the reason that I really felt this film more than anything is because I have some friends who didn't know their dads, and probably never will. And those who know and love their dads, and those who know their dads and hate them. I am fortunate enough to have a father who has been there from the start and has literally bled, sweat, and cried to make sure that I came out okay. And I can never repay that. I could never, ever repay that. And I will spend the rest of my life trying to repay that to him and my mother. But this movie really made me feel for Tobin Bell as, I'm not a father, by any means, but it made me feel for him because at the end of the movie, we find out some information about, him and his family and his life, and it's sad, how everything played out for him. But he was still willing to help this young man who came into his house, in essence, to try and hurt him. At first, it seemed like that, And as the movie goes on, you realize Jason Mack's character, Nick, he is not a bad guy at all. He is not a bad guy. He is literally just trying to do what he feels within himself is right to get to the next level in his life, to make sure that he takes care of his wife and his future child. In the movie, he says, I don't want to be like my dad. He doesn't want to leave his child. He doesn't want to not be there. And as Tobin Bell's character, Billy, says, one of the best lines is, sometimes just being there is enough. And this whole movie made me, not to sound wimpy, but this movie really made me kind of choke up at times because I just felt it. The acting was just phenomenal acting, especially with Billy and Nick together. Once they got over the hump of, Nick being there and just kind of eating his food and ordering this man around. And I love Tobin Bell as an actor. He also played or voiced Savitar and Dr. Alchemy in The Flash, and he was in Saw and Jigsaw and various other movies. And I really love him as an actor. But I love the way how he was just kind of like, all right, you're not gonna shoot me, but all right, let's do this. It was funny at times because, again, Jason Mack's character he's a scared young man. He made a big mistake, and later on in the movie, sorry, spoilers. Later on in the movie, he says he unloaded his gun to go rob the warehouse because he didn't expect anyone to be there. He didn't want anyone to be there. He didn't really want any trouble. He just wanted to get the money so that he could help his family and set his family up, and make sure that he was there for his family. And I love the character development in this movie too. I'm not sure what the entire inspiration was behind writing this film, but what I can say is I appreciate it and I commend it because this was beautifully written. I have really no negative thing to say about this movie whatsoever, and that's really a first because I try to find some negatives in the movies so that people can see both sides of it. But to be real, this movie just hit me in a spot where I really genuinely and truly have found no negatives with this. If anything, maybe a pacing issue, maybe it was a little bit slow at times, but that was because of the development of the story, the development of the characters, so that when it reaches the climax, you're like, wow, holy crap, and that's exactly what it was for me. That's exactly what it was. It was a slow and steady buildup. What I've really also loved about certain instances in the movie is even from the beginning when Tobin Bell's character Billy had issues with these young guys trying to take over his land. From the get-go, Nick was like, what's going on here? Like he wasn't trying to be like, all right, well, whatever. He actually was trying to help this old man from the get-go, so that just kind of showed me from the beginning, like, okay, he's really not all that bad. And even when he first came into his house, I expected, all right, well, he's going to shoot him, and, well, we're going to have to go to the hospital, this and that. He had plenty of instances to shoot him. Well, obviously now we know that his gun wasn't loaded, but he had plenty of instances to shoot him, and he didn't, even though he threatened. You could tell he was just a scared, not a kid, but a scared young man, And again, I have to say this movie was really well written. I know I've said that quite a bit, but I didn't expect anything going into this because I love having an open mind. But I did not expect this movie to make me feel the way it did, and that's what gets me with movies, is if you can properly incorporate phenomenal writing and touching on the human psyche to make them really put themselves in somebody else's shoe in a movie or a TV show. You've done it. You've done a phenomenal job, and that's exactly what Jason Mack did here with this movie. I have to give kudos to you, Jason Mack. This was really good, man. I look forward to future projects from you because I was really impressed. I love the religious overtones in this movie, or undertones. Sorry, the religious undertones in this movie, and that's another thing that I embodied because a few of my friends from back home and we've all grown up in the church. And so that also was kind of a thing for me. My family wasn't really religious at first, and then they became religious. And this movie, again, just has so many feelings involved in it. And I don't mean like weird feelings. I mean like true, like touch on your heartstrings feelings, or make you really think feelings like, man, wow. Like this kid really just wanted to be better than the dad he never even knew, He just wanted his dad to teach him fishing. He just wanted to find somebody that could have been his dad to show him how to fish. That speaks volumes, and that can speak for a lot of people nowadays. This movie will be released on June 17th, right before Father's Day, so that is phenomenal timing, and this is a great Father's Day film. I genuinely recommend that everyone watch this. Everyone watch this. Even if you end up not liking it, it is a must-see movie. 100%. So thank you again, Laurie Heiselman and the Biscuit Media Group, for this opportunity. I really look forward to more, hopefully. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it. Jason Mack, phenomenal movie, my man. I really, really appreciate you sharing this with the world. This was a great time and adventure that I went through. The scenery was amazing. Certain shots that you did were phenomenal too, and I really appreciate this film for what it is, and I really appreciate what you did with it and with the actors and actresses. So thank you for this installment, man. Phenomenal. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching this review. I hope you enjoyed this review, and hopefully I didn't spoil too much of it for you. Until the next time, guys. Take care.